welcome to the Ascent of Mount Carmel channel. This channel is devoted to a reading and better understanding of the book Ascent of Mount Carmel by St. John of the Cross. Today we're on the third book, the 8th chapter. And please note that these installments are numbered, and you should probably watch them in numerical order. They'll probably make a little more sense to you that way. And as you recall, in the last chapter, St. John introduced us to imaginary apprehensions of the memory. These are when we reflect upon past visions, locutions, and revelations that we might have had at an earlier time.
And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains.
In this chapter, St. John tells us that we are risking 5 kinds of evils if we reflect upon imaginary apprehensions of the memory. These 5 evils are: we will likely judge them incorrectly and mistake one thing for another. They may cause us to fall or be in danger of falling into some sort of presumption or vanity. The devil is given many opportunities to deceive us through these apprehensions. They will hinder us on our path toward union with God, and they will prevent us from esteeming God as highly as we should. St. John discusses the first evil in this chapter, and he'll discuss the rest of them one at a time in the following chapters. So, St. John tells us that if we reflect upon the images and notions of imaginary apprehensions of the memory, we will likely be deceived in our judgment of them and mistake one thing for another. You probably recall that he already provided us with several cautions about visions, locutions, and revelations in the second book of Ascent of Mount Carmel. And among those cautions was that we cannot rely on them because of our defective way of understanding them. This caution is even more important when we're relying on our memory of them because we might not remember them properly. We can never completely understand supernatural related things that pass through our imagination in a natural manner. Therefore, we can't judge them perfectly. So it follows we have even less ability to judge supernatural things which are above our natural capacity of understanding. We're often prone to believing that what comes from our imagination came from God, but what's worse is when things do have a supernatural origin, we might mistake that which came from God as something that came from the devil, or we might mistake something that came from the devil as being something that came from God. Woe to you that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. We can also be deceived in regard to the quality of supernatural experiences that we might have had, and we might think that things of little consequences are really very great things, and we might think that important things are unimportant. Therefore, no good can come to us reflecting upon past supernatural experiences. It only exposes us to falling into error. The only exception to this is that if we are successful in finding a good and orthodox spiritual director, we should discuss our supernatural experiences with him. We should therefore concentrate on voiding our memory of these apprehensions. Regardless of their nature, they can't help us on our path and our progress toward union. Well, I hope you enjoyed this installment of Ascent of Mount Carmel. We'll be back again in about a week with another one. In the meantime, please pray for the church.
I don't believe in living in the past. I think the past is for cowards. You live in the past, you die in the past.